Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm going to talk about how to get into help desk and what I did to get into the help desk role that I'm in and what it's like being in a help desk role. So the things that I did, I actually did go to college and I did get my CompTIA A+ cert. That was like 10 years ago. And then I ended up doing other jobs. I went into education and then I just recently switched into a help desk role. You don't need to go to college to work help desk. Does it help? Yes, no, I can't really determine that because when I got my CompTIA A+ cert back in 2012, it was really hard for me to land a job. Do you need a college degree to work in help desk? No, you don't. You can get certifications. I know Google has one, which is like the fundamentals. I think it's like IT Plus or something like that. And then there's CompTIA A+ that you can get, Security Plus, Networking Plus, and the list goes on. But to get into help desk, you really only need the CompTIA A+ cert, and you don't even really need that. You just need the skills in working in IT. You could work in like a retail role like Geek Squad, Easy Tech for Staples. You can even work at the Genius Bar at Apple, and that will help you get into like a help desk role. You don't necessarily need to do those. You can get the certifications, and you can like freelance and do internships, and then it can help you land a help desk job. What skills do you need for a help desk job? Honestly, critical thinking skills. You need to be really good at Googling and asking questions. Questions is going to help you get farther in your career, especially when you're first starting out. When I landed my help desk role at this company, I ask a bunch of questions every time. Even if I feel like I asked the question before in a different format, I would ask the questions again. Now, you don't want to end up being that person that's like, did this person never write the notes down? Do they not know what I just told them the last time? You don't want to be in a situation like that, but you do want to ask questions about what's going on in the agency, who's the point of contact, so you can know who to reach out to, so you don't always have to reach out to your colleagues, because then they're going to just tell you, oh, reach out to this person, they'll be able to help. Every help desk role is different. Like, every company is completely different. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. A lot of help desk is learned on the job. Like, they want you to have certain skills, so that's not something that they have to train you for unless it's like a junior role. Then they're willing to train you, obviously. But if you're trying to get into like a mid-level role straight out the gate and this is your first role, you do want to have a certain level of skill and knowledge to get into that role. YouTube University is really your best bet. I'm not even going to lie. And trial and error and Googling. So what I did when I first started getting interested in IT, I had a laptop. That was like some run-of-the-mill laptop. It was like a $200 laptop. And I understand not everyone has $200 to just throw away. But I bought a $200 laptop, took it apart, learned how to work inside of it, messed around with the command prompt and PowerShell. I even partitioned a hard drive to put Linux on it, so I can break stuff and learn how to fix it and go from there. Now, my experience was we had a house computer. This is back when Windows XP. Basically, we had a home computer since Windows 98. I'm gonna just put it like that. But our real first like home computer that everyone could use wasn't until Windows 7. Windows Vista. I just want to put that out there. If y'all don't know what that is, it's alright. It was an operating system of Windows that was terrible. But we had Windows 7, and then my mom had got a new computer, and that one ended up having Windows Vista. And when I tell you, Windows Vista was the worst one because we always got a virus. Something was always breaking. Something was always crashing. And because I was like the family nerd, I would just tinker with it because it was like my mom couldn't afford to go pay for it to get fixed, and we couldn't even really use it anyway. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try to figure out how to fix the home computer, which I did. And I learned how to like notice when there's certain things wrong with their machine, when malware needed to be ran, when we had to get antivirus. At the time, antivirus was pretty pricey, so we didn't have it. But they were free tools that we could use to kind of get rid of some stuff. So that was awesome. But yes, you want to buy something that you can kind of like break. Now, a lot of companies are still Windows environments. So you don't have to necessarily know how to do both, but it's good to learn how to do both. Like, I am a Windows and Linux person. Like, that was what I learned. That's what I learned when I did my certifications. And that's what I learned when I was in college. I barely ever touched a Mac. One, because we couldn't afford it. And like, my first time messing with a Mac was like the Macs with the back colors, with the fat back, and it had like, you could have the different colors on it. And that was in computer class. And they don't even have computer class anymore in public schools. Like, it's rare that you have a computer class unless you're in a, you know, in an environment where they have it. But in New York City schools, I was fortunate to be in 2 schools, for elementary school, and then when I went to middle school and high school, we had computer class. But the high school I went to, now that I graduated and I ended up working there, there's no computer class. I ended up teaching the AP computer science class, but before that, there was no like designated computer class to learn how to use computers and be on computers. But like, my first intro to Mac was playing Kid Pix on the Mac with the fat backs when I was in 4th grade. And that was in 2001. Okay, so after that, like, I've used Macs obviously for my job, but it was literally just to use Chrome, and that was it. Now in my help desk role that I am in now, I'm in an environment where it's predominantly Mac. So yes, I have my CompTIA A+. Yes, I have my degree. Yes, I know how to use computers, but this was my first time really being a help desk or a technician for Macs. Now, I did work at Apple. I was in the Genius Bar. I wasn't a genius. I was a TS, a technical specialist. I wanted to stay there to work up to be TE, to then be a genius, but because I had got this full-time role, I was like overworked. So I was like, I gotta let one of them go. I would love to come back, Apple. I'm gonna let you know that, for real. But in this role was my first experience of really like helping people with issues in Mac. And thankfully, my main machine that I work on for my job is a Mac, and I was just tinkering with it. I made another side account because I'm an admin on my laptop, made a side account and figured out how to work around the Mac environment. Now, because I know Linux, the Mac is Unix, so the command line is pretty much the same. It's not exact, but it's not that simple to go from their terminal to a Linux terminal. Same thing, pretty much. But yeah, YouTube, books, and just tinkering with stuff and knowing what to do. Help desk, a lot of the interview questions is like, what would you do if the keyboard's not responding? What do you do if an email is stuck in the outbox? What is wrong with that? What are some issues that you can check to fix that? You know? And Active Directory. Microsoft is moving into this thing called Entra. It was Azure or Azure. I don't know how I pronounce it Azure. It could be Azure. Right now it's Entra. Okay? So they're moving into an Entra environment. But before that, and people still use this, called Active Directory. When I started using Active Directory, it looked like it literally looked like something from 1995. And I think it still looks like that. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it still looks like that. But in this agency, our Active Directory has a beautiful skin on top. It is the easiest thing to maneuver. And I'm like, in college, I really was stressing on how to use Active Directory. Whole time, it's different in every different place. Every different place. Now, when I learned Active Directory in college, it still looked like 1995, the way it looked like when I learned in 2012 to get my CompTIA A+. So, do with that what you will. But I honestly believe that if you're someone that wants to get into IT, a lot of it is breaking it and fixing it. There's people that want to get into IT and they're scared of breaking it because they may not be able to fix it. The good thing about Windows environments, now Mac, if you break it, you broke it. But at least Windows, if you break it or brick your machine, you can put a flash drive in it, boot it up in the BIOS, and now you have a new machine. So just if it's your test machine, that is the machine you want to test on. I would say go to eBay, find the cheapest Windows machine that you can find. Now you could probably get a good one from like $100 to like $300, and it's still something you can tinker with to figure out how to fix it. If you're gonna get something that's $300, it might be something from 2011, 2013, and I think the highest operating system it supports is gonna be Monterey or Ventura, and now we're on Sequoia. So we're on Sonoma right now, but they're moving on to Sequoia. So you want to have something that can move up to the next operating system, just so you know how each operating system works and what it looks like. But if you're someone that wants to get into IT, you just have to be comfortable with wanting to break stuff and fix stuff, and you have to be comfortable with having to learn on the job, learn something new almost every day, or be able to stay up to date with technology every 3 to 6 months. Because if you don't, you're going to get stagnant in your career and you may not be able to move up. And learn how to use Excel. This is going to be the funniest thing. I'm going to end it on this, but learn how to use Excel. Yes, you're going to see a lot of help desk roles that want you to know TCP, IP, UDP, all this stuff, printers, this, cameras, AV, all that. Learn how to use Excel, because I promise you, there's not a person in help desk that if they see this video and they comment below, but there's not a person in help desk that's not going to tell you that whatever they do with their team, they're using an Excel spreadsheet. Learn how to use Excel. Obviously, learn how to use your suites. But you get comfortable with Googling. Learn your terms. And it's very important. I know they say this in everything any job or any field that you get into. Learn the fundamentals. But it's very important. If you know the fundamentals, it'll help you propel. Because if you don't know the fundamentals and someone tells you, oh, do this, and you're going to be like, what? And to someone who's a senior or a regular tech, they're going to be like, you didn't know that? So make sure you know the fundamentals and you got this. I'm going to leave some links in the comment section down below of some tools that I've used and some programs that I did. I am in the New York City area, so some of these stuff may be strictly for New York, but it is one that is I say they work with like 10 states. So if you're not in New York, you may be able to use this program to get your certifications and to get your foot out there. Okay, thank you for watching.